Hello guys, it's Zushu here. Today we're gonna look at some matches here, or actually just one, focusing on Rozenciel. And then talk about how Rozenciel works, why she's good, how to build her, all that good stuff. So for this match, I am playing a full mythic team here with Andius, Aryan Rod, Rozenciel, Bean, and Bozo. On the opponent side, they have Aryan Rod, Rainforce, Lambda, Rachel, and Landius. So a lot of AoE on both sides here. And I'll just play this out so you can see how this match went. So my opponent at this point gets a, well, 2 lucky Tenyo Breezes on the Rainforce and applies the Gospel. So he's looking to jump in turn 1. He has a lot of range. And I'm just going to stand on this forest, get a stack of this talent for Aryan Rod, and the opponent immediately jumps in here using Eclipse. So Eclipse does steal buffs, but he used this with another action still available here, with Aryan Rod. I was going to cast the faction buff here with Sage with the Trees, but if he just waited one more action, he could have stole some more buffs from my team here. I cast faction buff and everyone have full buffs. Now, because this Rainforce still have one turn of Gospel left, I cannot sleep with Bozo and don't really have a good way of one-shotting this Rainforce. I could try with Sage of the Trees Lightning Strike, but I didn't really feel like it, so using Rozenciel here, cast a 3C near my team, and apply a bunch of these immune to debuffs. So 5 on Sage, 3 on Rozenciel, 4 on Bozo, 5 on Rian, and 2 on Aryan Rod. On my opponent's turn to act with this very threatening 3C from Rainforce, but it doesn't really do that much damage. In fact, it's like doing no damage. Everyone just gets healed back up twice. And really, the only thing that's left is the burn effects. So there's 1 on Sage, 4 on Aryan Rod, 1 on Rian, 2 on Bozo, and 3 on Rozenciel. But there's bracers on Rian, Bozo, and meditation ring on Rozenciel, so they can ignore all the burn damage. While Aryan Rod is gonna take all the burn damage after taking action and be able to act again. So after that sequence of Rainforce AoEs, I think I came out ahead, even though my positioning of the units did get messed up a little. Now Rozenciel's in the front. But it's alright, we're just gonna move forward, Serene, transform him. Get hit by an AoE here. Everyone heals back up, so nothing of consequence there. Get hit by another AoE, Runic Void onto these two. Again, they heal back up and really ignore the AoE damage. Now it's my turn to throw out some AoEs here. The AoE with Aryan Rod. She can act again thanks to the 4 burns. Then she can just move in here and AoE again, get both of the shields, and kill off the Rachel there. But opponent can see it right here. So my team took a whole bunch of AoEs and they were fine. All thanks to Rozenciel. So how is Rozenciel built? What are some of the common skills you want to use? So to begin with, probably want her as a mage, but you can use Holy if you want to ignore Twilight stars. So for class, just build her with health and int. Defense and magic defense, I find that it doesn't really matter what you get. For soldiers, she actually has very strong soldiers here. Tri-Maidens makes her pretty much immune to any sort of physical AoEs like berries. They're not going to one-shot her. You can bring bishops otherwise, or sorceress if you're facing a lot of magical damage. For equipment, you can use really any sort of stick, like Goddess Left Hand, which are the most commonly used healer sticks. Then you can go with Tenyo's Robe, Tenyo's Headdress for the health. And the accessory here, I recommend Meditation Ring, since you're already going to be immune to pretty much all debuffs. It's very unlikely you're going to get silenced. And in case your Rozenciel is at a lower star rarity, you can, instead of engaging very quickly, you can stick around the Rozenciel, get those stacks of immunity up, and then you can engage, since those immunities stay forever. So you're most likely going to be running this sort of skills: single target heal, mass heal, and the 3C. There are times where you might want something like Imperial Radiance, which is the Empire faction buff. There are a lot of relevant Empire units, like Leon, now relevant again thanks to the new mechanical troops. Elwin's getting his SP soon. Leonard is still, I will say, relevant. There are some Toguro players out there still smashing down jugglers. 2 tanks from Empire. Clotaire is actually quite strong here as well. Definitely kind of want a faction buff. Ares don't really need a faction buff, although you can bring one for him. And then Florentia, you can actually faction buff her if you want to run double healer. And she's going to get more of those strategy scrolls or whatever, and act again more units. So overall, very strong unit. Do need to pull one Clotaire for her int bonds though, so you do need both units from this banner. Highly stressed it for you to pick up Rozenciel if you want to PvP, and eventually get her to 6 stars. There are a lot of units that are really bad once your opponents are immune to all the debuffs, like Yusuke. If they can immune the heal block, then Yusuke, well, he's not going to do much unless he one-shots. Like Claret 3C, if you can immune that, they're not going to do a whole lot. Like Sword Dance, it's usually really good and applies heal block, but you can ignore that. Also with Ozo Sleep, if you can ignore all the debuffs, you're not going to get slept and stunned. So Rozenciel just counters a lot of units. Alright, well, this is all for now. I'll see you guys next time.